What is up, everyone? Skratch coming up with another Raid Shadow Legends video. We got the new faction crypt open, guys. The Sylvan Watcher is finally here, and the time just went super fast, man. It's been over 8 months since the faction is been added to the game. I cannot believe it. I've actually just randomly seen somebody's video, I think it was Ash's video, dated around 9 months since they've added the faction, which is just crazy that the time went so quick. In today's video, guys, I wanna share with you the team that I'm going to use for the faction wars, and we're gonna talk about what champions you should use now that we have a better understanding of what bosses we have on each one of the stages and how to actually build the champions. Like, faction wars is not the hardest content in the game, but for a lot of you guys that might be kind of like newish to the game, it will be a bit more challenging, you know. So basically, they added some extra rewards in here, which of course I am not going to complain about it. And this is what we have in store. Basically, the very first boss is the green one. Then we have the magic one. And of course, the last one, we already know it ignores defense. Now, one thing that I wanted to try on stage 21, and I kind of forgot to do it on the test server, I want to see if Taunt, by any chance, makes the boss to target the champion that uses the taunt instead of the lowest HP, for example, on stage 21. I'm very curious to try that out, because if that would be the case, then Duet under Runic would be an amazing champion for every single one of the bosses. Now, if we're going to start with the very first boss, the green boss, guys, this is the one that places poisons with the A1. I actually have it on the left side of the screen right here. I kind of like took some notes. Then attacks all enemies with the A2, places a true fear on all the enemies, places poisons, decreases the turn meter. So all around, this boss is not going to be a massive threat. Like, you're not really gonna have to stress about it too much. There are two more difficult bosses, to say like this. One is on stage 21 already, and then is the boss that is not part of the rotation, which is the purple boss, you know. That's the one that removes all buffs from your team, and transfers all debuffs from him to all your team, and then steals your HP and kind of like replaces it with its own. You know how we have on Night Revenants and other stages like this, where that boss can be pretty hard if you don't have enough damage to deal with it, you know. But on stage 7, having a cleanser will mean a lot. And having Duet under Runic in the team is gonna be very, very beneficial for you, especially if we're not talking about using legendary champions. And honestly, we don't need any legendary champions. The faction already has a lot of solid epic champions and even rare champions. If you've checked the guide that I've done on 3 Shield Nut, is actually pretty awesome as a rare champion. And if you have a copy of that, you don't need Elva, you don't need the Epic Reviver. Honestly, he's gonna do the job just fine. Now on stage 14, we actually have the blue boss. So this, I think, is in the Banner Lords, and I can't really remember in what other factions. Basically, this one revives his minions. He has 2 minions. He's gonna revive the minions, and he's gonna go to sleep while he's doing that. And after, he has the ally attack. So, you know, it has Zargala and Rowan as minions. This deals a lot of damage. So here, you're gonna want to make sure you have a decreased attack, maybe. You're gonna want to make sure you're maybe crowd controlling the minions, like crowd controlling Rowan especially, because she's the one that deals the biggest amount of damage, you know. So that's pretty much everything in terms of bosses. Stage 21 has no minions. Yes, stage 7 will have minions as well, but this is at such a low stage that honestly it's not really gonna be an issue. So these are the champions that I'm planning to use for my faction crypt, and I'm quickly gonna share the builds with all of you. So I have White Dryad Nia on a stun set. She's gonna help me a lot once I'm gonna get to the higher stages where I need to kind of like crowd control the waves, because we do have an AoE on the A1, you know. If you don't have her, you don't have a champion to put on a stun set, it's fine. It's gonna be maybe slightly harder if you're progressing through the game to deal with the waves on the higher stages, but either way, if you have a reviver, you're gonna be more than fine, you know. This will give me an extra chance to stun every now and then. We have a cleanse in here. We have a bit of a healing. Interesting champion. Ally protection, strengthen. This is going to be massive against the boss on stage 21. And in terms of masteries, guys, I don't have masteries on pretty much all the champions except Ruella. I know I have masteries on Ruella because I used to run her in Clan Boss, but the rest have no... Actually, he has masteries. Okay, Killing the Shrike, he has masteries, and Silken doesn't have masteries. And you could use pretty much any of these champions, honestly. Like, the main thing that you wanna cover is to have some decent damage, so you might have to use a couple of different champions. If you have Duedan the Runic, just run him. He's actually pretty awesome. If you have a Mistrider Deity, he's gonna do a pretty good job too. Even if you have a Cormac the High Pick, I feel like out of all the epics, he's the weakest champion in this faction out of all the epics, because he really doesn't do that much, you know. Then you have Enda. Enda is actually decent, but not that amazing either. So you have defense down, attacks 3 times at random, better than just single hits, you know. AoE attack with a chance to land leech. You have the passive, so this is still a decent option. And you do have a couple of rare champions that are good. I am missing, I think, 1 or 2 epics from this faction, if I'm not mistaken, but let's go quickly over the builds. So this is my Ruella, double speed, 1 perception, total stats on her, basically. I don't have, like, crazy stats on all the champions and stuff like this. She does have a blessing, so that benefits her quite a bit. And I do have Giant Slayer as tier 6 masteries. Then I think total stats for White Ridney, I haven't actually showed them to you. 66k HP, 4k defense. I have quite a bit of defense actually. 205 speed, 250 accuracy. That decreased speed is actually going to be pretty nice. Then we have Lockwayne. Seems like I haven't even actually put the gear on him for the moment, and probably I'm not really going to have to stress with him just yet. So we're going to be able to replace the champion with a different one. I have a Duedan the Runic. He's on a shield set, and I have him on a protection set. That doesn't really do much at the moment. Just gives me a bit of extra HP. Now, I initially have him built like this for the Shogun dungeon, and I'm not using him there at the moment, so I'm pretty convinced that I'm going to change this build on him. So I haven't had a chance to do it, but I'm definitely gonna change it to something else. Maybe a Relentless set would actually benefit him if I have one available for him as well. Then I have Killing the Shrike. I've actually done a video on this champion when I pulled him. He's gonna be the MVP on stage 21, just because he brings the decreased speed, thermimeter manipulation, pretty good damage, and weaken with A1. Then he is built on a Relentless and a Cruel set. 32k HP, 4.7k attack, 2.1k defense, 200 speed, full crit rate, 226 crit damage, 270 accuracy, masteries, offense, support, Ham Smasher as tier 6. Then, for example, we have Silken, and she's built on a shield set and an Immortal. I want to have a bit of a shield, especially when we get on the boss at stage 21. But these are the stats that I have on. 68k HP, 3.2k defense, 220 speed, 240 accuracy. The reason why I have accuracy, guys, is for the A1. It has a chance to land decreased attack. That's going to be beneficial on bosses. And plus you're getting increased speed from the champion, Thermimeter, and she's going to revive, right? Plus you have a speed aura for faction creeps. Pretty awesome epic champion. If you don't have her, you can definitely use a 3 shield, the rare champion. Then we have, as another example, Mistrider Deity. I have him built on a Fatal set, a Crit Rate set, and a Broken set. Total stats, 31k HP, 3.8k attack, 1.5k defense, 194 speed, full crit rate, 248 crit damage. And this is the build on him. No masteries on any of the champions just yet, guys, except Ruella and him. But let's actually head over back to the faction wars and just complete slowly all the stages. This is what I'm planning to use for my team at the moment. I'm gonna do this stage, the first boss, and then we're gonna quickly go at the index and check the other rare champions. Yes, the legendaries will be great for it, guys. Like, every single one of them will be helpful in a way or another. So if you are fortunate enough to have some legendaries from this faction, you're gonna be sorted, you know, like, it's gonna be an easy peasy. You might have to move gear from champions that you've built for a different faction. If you are still progressing through the game, you might not have enough gear and stuff like this. So we got our first boss done. You see, that was very easy actually, and we had no issues whatsoever. And we managed to collect some more goodies in here. We got a void shard, we got another chicken, and we are getting 2 soul stones, which I'm definitely gonna keep for the next summon rush. With soul stones, we have another void shard, and the grand prize for people that didn't manage to collect Lydia, of course, will be Lydia. So right here, I quickly want to point this rare. Turlac is actually fairly decent. Kate, she's pretty decent too. So this one, decrease attack. You have increased speed on all allies. That's the good part. And then you have the veil, you know, so, and a shield. So this is actually pretty nice. You can definitely use him even on stage 21 with a shield. This one, block buffs. And what I like is that increases the duration of cooldowns for the enemies, you know, so that's pretty good. It gives you a bit of crowd control. Re-up, this was the fusion one. I don't think he's a good one, yeah. Definitely not a champion worth investing in, and not 3 shield, not already an awesome champion. Too many good things about this rare champion. Definitely one of the best rare champions they've added to the game in a while. And then you have Margrave, which continuous heals on the ally with the lowest HP, a chance to provoke, which is not bad, and then you have ally protection and increased defense. Now, increased defense won't be massive, but having ally protection to take you at the boss on stage 21 will actually be nice. And I would give you another tip. If you are planning to use him for stage 21 with the ally protection, use a stone skin set on him, make him the slowest in the team to go right before the boss, put the ally protection, and he's not gonna take damage for a few turns in there, you know, so that's gonna be pretty good. That was all for this video, guys. Hopefully you found it helpful. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. What team are you guys planning to use for the faction? And much love. I'll catch you all soon in the next video. Peace.